All right. So we have Dennis with us who completed the 90 days just a few months ago and did wonderfully. One of my favorite clients on the program. Dennis, we're just going to start with a few questions, get your testimony as to how the program went for you, things you experienced, and just your story. First question that everybody wants to know is how many pounds did you lose in the 90 days?
In the 90-day program, I believe I ended up at 46.
46 pounds. Yes, I was like, does he remember how much?
Yep,
Because
I
he's
think
in
it
our
was 46.
maintenance program too, so he's still plugging away, but in the 90 days, you lost 46 pounds.
Mhm.
And how have you felt since losing the weight?
Um, I honestly can tell you that I haven't felt, well, I don't know. I can't remember how long it's been since I felt this good.
Good, good.
Honestly, it's been many, 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 many years.
Many years and a
Mhm.
lot of things, a lot of life things that have happened in those years too.
Oh, yes.
Um, what other changes did you notice or experience as you were going through or even after the program? Body changes, health changes, things like that.
Um, the biggest thing I started to experience, I guess, while I was losing the weight was my my energy level mainly
Mhm.
started to increase,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also my ability for the simplest things of getting up off the floor,
Yeah.
getting down onto the floor,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then getting up from the floor.
Yep.
Those things just started to become much, much, much easier.
Yeah. That's awesome. Anything like sleep or digestion, anything like
Oh,
that?
that's a whole different subject. But, uh, I I I have a sleep apnea machine.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know if I need it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm
awesome.
I'm at the point where I'm going to probably try without it,
That's
because
awesome.
I had to have it in order to get a somewhat of a decent night's sleep, and it was, I most of it was from being overweight,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also my energy level's a lot higher. I could go on and on and on. I recently had all of my blood work done and all of my doctor's stuff done, and everything is
Much improved.
way down.
Much improved, right, and
Way.
you had some scary health issues too that, that was a big motivating factor for you is that it was time to get your health back, and so I'm glad because I haven't heard yet your numbers, so I'm excited to hear on our next, call that kinda how those things have been going for you then.
Yeah,
So I'm excited for that because that's my favorite.
I need to print that off because the numbers are like crazy.
The before and after numbers?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I that's what I like. The weight loss is one thing, but when you get to see patients' blood pressures normalize, you get to see glucose levels normalize, cholesterol levels, that's what gets me really excited because now you're looking at internal change in a person's health, not just the external, which gets me really excited. So I'm excited for those
And
numbers.
I guess the other part to add to that is, I did it for me and my family,
Yep.
but the people that see you every day, it's not as obvious, right?
Right.
But when
Right.
I have now seen some family members that hadn't seen me for a couple, three
Oh, wow.
months,
Yeah.
and they could not believe it. Like,
Yeah.
who is this person in my house?
That's all it's a whole new person.
Yeah, and
I love that.
that feels good.
Yeah, that's awesome. How has the program been different from other weight loss, programs or plans that you've tried?
Well, I, I'm not a big diet person,
Yeah,
I until now.
right,
Uh, so I can't tell you that I've tried this or tried that or whatever,
right.
but I can tell you that I have tried to, like, eliminate pop
Yep.
and that type of sugar. and I
Yep.
have tried to eliminate um, like pasta and the carb stuff and the
Yep.
breads and all that because that was my biggest. I shouldn't say I have many. I had many crutches then,
I was gonna say,
but
wait a minute, there
but,
were a few.
but for me, those were two big ones, and
Yes.
I've tried in the past to eliminate them and not do them and
Right.
keep going back. And I think it's lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
strictly lifestyle because I might answer some questions ahead of time, but
That's great.
I would have been the last person that you would ever bet on to not have sugar, not have bread, not have red meat, not have all these things are what I lived off of.
Yep.
Pop,
Yep.
sugar candy, donuts, rolls,
Quick
all
trip
that
food.
stuff. So when my wife and I decided to do this,
Mhm.
I thought I am going to have the worst DTs of anybody. I thought so. I thought I was going to like, I don't know. I know I don't, I'm not comparing this to alcoholism or anything like that, but I don't know what DTs, I don't know what those DTs are like.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to have those.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do then?
Yeah.
But people, I did not have those.
And that's the thing too, like, a lot of people think, oh, that it sounds scarier at the beginning, and then you start walking it out, and it's like, okay, it's just one day at a time. And you did so great too, because even at the beginning, there were a few things that you were like, oh, I screwed up on that. And it's like, that's okay. We can come back from that. That doesn't throw you completely off course. And we did. We came back from it, and you were like, whoa, I didn't realize my body would do that. And it's like, yeah, you got to give it the right tools. And even if one day is a vacation or a hiccup or a mistake day, doesn't mean you fall off completely. We just get back on the horse and continue. And you did that. That's what I love, is that you don't have to be this perfect person to do the program and to do it well. So many clients get started, and then fall right. I mean, how many calls would I was like, wait a minute, Dennis, you're not supposed to do that.
I, I admit I'm not. I when it comes to anything nutrition and that kind of stuff, I'm oblivious to it.
uh,
And so learning it,
yes.
thank God that you're a great coach and a great teacher because learning nutrition has been very, very interesting.
Well, and that's been the
Yeah.
fun part, is seeing your growth in learning what foods are nutrient dense that your body is designed to run on, versus what foods are actually slowly creating that disease process, which in the long run slowly kills everyone. And so getting you to understand, hey, how is your body designed and created to run? And what is that fuel source? And then teaching you guys how to read labels, what to look out for, what to stay away from. And finding that balance too that works with each individual, because no two people are alike on the program. It's finding that perfect cycling in the phases that we do. Um, so I'm glad you touched on that. I know we went off on a little bit of a tangent, but I know a lot of people always wonder the cost, and we go through the cost on the webinar. But do you feel the financial investment in the program was worth the results that you got?
100%.
Yeah, you're like
I
a completely different person.
100%. I know when we first became aware of this program that you were offering, that you were
Yep.
in this and you were
Yep.
doing this, and I think when I first reached out to you to find out, okay, tell me more,
Right.
and you told me more about the program, and of course the financial cost of the program, and I thought, for what it is, that doesn't sound that bad.
Right.
So the
Right.
wife and I, of course, had to talk about it,
Right.
and she was like, I definitely, my wife was like, I definitely want you to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna I always try to. I'm a lot older now, but I always try to go back to my sports days.
Yep.
If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, and
Yep.
I'm going to go back to my high school days when I was committed to
Yeah,
being.
you're all in,
Yeah,
like,
I'm all in,
yep, yep.
and I will just say this: it's the best money that I can tell you, next to maybe my engagement ring I bought my wife
I love that.
and our first house we bought together,
Yep,
and the financial cost of this program
yeah.
are the best money I've ever spent in my whole life.
Oh, that means a lot to me, Dennis. You're gonna make me cry on this.
Yeah. No, that's by far. Yeah.
Well, I love to hear that because I know some people, I always tell people we've really put a lot of thought and energy and work and preparation into the program. And besides the value of the program, I always want people to know like you're worth that. Your health is worth that. Your livelihood is worth that. And if you're not investing in your health, um, then there's really nothing else in life. Because if you lose your health, you lose everything. And so it's just so vital that people, especially with all the things that we've gone through in these last few years with health crisis throughout the world, right? Like if you don't invest in your health and you don't make your health a priority, both financially, time commitment, um, you will lose it. And when you lose it, you lose everything. And so I'm glad that you said that because I know a lot of people are always, well, I don't know. But the program works, and I said this to you so many times. The program works when you work the program. When
Yeah.
you put in the effort and you do it, you see the results. It's when
Yeah.
you don't do it that it doesn't work. But that's anything in life, right?
Right.
So I'm glad you said that.
And when people ask me, how are you doing it? They notice and they look, how are you doing it?
Yeah,
And when I tell them,
yeah,
this is all I say. It's like I watch what I eat, when I eat, and how much I eat.
yep, yep,
I eat. I forgive me for going biblical, but I eat what God gave us to eat,
yep,
and I don't eat too much,
yep.
and then I eat at the right times of day.
Right,
And they
exactly.
all look at me like, "That's it?" Like, "Yeah, that's it." I go, "Look at my arms. They're
Yeah,
twigs. I haven't
it's
touched a weight I haven't done a chore in
I
a
haven't
month
done a chore.
because my coach won't let me."
We're getting there, we're getting there, and we're getting
No,
there.
but when they hear it's just eating the right stuff and the right quantities,
Yeah,
they wanna hear more, so.
and everybody always asks that, "Well, is there exercise to the program? Is there a bunch of weightlifting and things like that?" No, it's not. It's you and, Nick always says, "You can't exercise your way out of bad nutrition." You can't exercise your way out of, eating 2,500 calories a day of donuts and pop and fast food. You can't exercise your way out of that. The first thing that you need to change when it comes to your health is your nutrition and what you're feeding your body. And if you don't make that up the first priority, the other things really don't matter or match up. So I'm glad you touched on that. And then the final question is, what would you say to those watching right now about the program? Any little tidbit, like what would you want people to hear if someone was asking you about the program?
Um, it's not. I don't know how to. It's not a um, commercialized program. I
Yeah,
guess it's a it's a it's a real life human
right.
program where you eat a lot of different types of real foods.
Yeah.
You eat real meals,
Yep.
and if I can do this, anybody can because I didn't. I would. I don't. It's not that I was against it, but I did not go grocery shopping. Okay, not. I just didn't. Now I do all the grocery shopping,
Yeah.
but it's primarily because I get what the things that I need to eat in this program.
Right.
Even though my wife enjoys it too,
Right. Right.
but
Yeah.
but she's also eating other stuff.
Yep.
Um, but if I can do this, if I don't mind going to the grocery store and getting the things that I like. The other part is the calories. I
Yeah.
can't bel I can't believe how many I hate to even guess how many calories I was eating a day
Yeah.
prior to this program.
Yep.
I
And they
mean,
were all empty.
oh my god. I
We're
oh,
all empty.
because the calories that y we have in these different phases
Yep.
are plenty.
Yep.
I thought for sure but before I started this, I thought this first month is gonna be hell.
You're like, "I'm gonna
It's
starve."
gonna suck, but it didn't. I was shocked.
Yep.
I was honestly shocked that
Yep.
the first week or 2
Yep.
was a little difficult, and it was just because of a lifestyle change,
Yep. Yep.
not doing my habits.
Yep.
But after
Breaking those
that
habits.
but after that, I was like, "Heck, this is alright."
Yep.
And you asked my daughter lives with us, and so she sees me every day, and my wife, when this started and when I first started, they thought for sure that I was gonna be the biggest bear on earth. Like, they wouldn't be able to talk to me, I wouldn't be able to. I thought it was great. Everything went perfectly fine, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable."
That's
So
awesome.
it's easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy, but it's
It's
very
doable.
doable. It's very doable.
Yep.
Very
Yep.
doable. And I'm just shocked at how many calories your body can really live off of, because there's times when you try to tell me I gotta eat 1,500 calories,
Yep. I
like,
was
you're
like,
nuts.
you gotta hit it, Dennis." You're
You're
like, "I
crazy."
can't eat anymore."
I'm full.
Because your body was getting what it needed. And when that's the thing is when you understand what food your body needs to run and operate and you're feeding your body that, your body doesn't have the sugar cravings or the carb cravings because you're giving the cells what they need to actually operate. Um, but we just have a tendency to screw it up in our Western diet.
And I am good at screwing things up.
But you got this one right. You did
Not this
screw this
one.
one up. Well, Dennis, I'm so thankful that you have gone through the program, and I'm so grateful that you're willing to come on and share your testimony and just share your story of how this program has worked for you and how you've just been a huge success and you're great in our Facebook group. You're active in there. You're a cheerleader for everybody, and it just proves the success that you've had just because of how well you've worked the program. Just because you decided to show up every day and just walk it out, which is great. That's all you have to do: show up and walk it out. So thank you so much for coming on.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I am a simple person,
Yep.
right? I am. I can eat the same stuff for a month,
Yeah.
you know? But the Facebook group, the Facebook page, the Facebook everybody giving all the recipes and all the different things that you
Yep.
can eat and you can make, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not very creative in the kitchen,
You're not really bored on it.
but I'm getting better,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
You get that power back in the kitchen.
Yeah. And I'm honestly, the biggest part that floors me, I guess, or surprises me, is that I could care less about sugar
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Sweets.
Because you know what it felt like being on that, and you
Wow.
know how good you feel now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I got to say.
And you don't need it. Your body doesn't need it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Dennis,
Yep.
and, I'm excited to see where you go from here because it's only continued to go down, so that's great, and getting stronger, which
And
is even better.
like I've told you, God bless you for following
Oh,
your calling.
thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you betcha.
Well, thank you so much again, Dennis.
Yep.